He is a 30-year veteran of the U.S. Armed Forces, the founder and CEO of Muddy Boots Leadership, and a leadership development organization that specializes in developing managers and supervisors into leaders. And we are also incredibly lucky that retired Lieutenant Colonel Harris is an adjunct professor of teaching graduate level business courses for the Master of Science program in organizational leadership at Mercy College. So Lieutenant Colonel Dan Harris, you have authored a book called On Guard, The Four Pillars of Leadership. And a little birdie in the chat room tells me that she took building sustainable organizations with you, and I should be adding wonderful teacher to your resume as well. So can you tell us about the program that you run at Mercy College?
Hey, thanks very much. I do appreciate the opportunity to be here with the veterans and to this celebration with Mercy. I'm really honored. So several things centered around the day, or this year's Veterans Day, which is a unique and different and special one, as with most things that we've been dealing with throughout the our communities and throughout the nation because of COVID. So Muddy Boots Leadership, I created that, I formed that organization to train leaders, to turn managers and supervisors into leaders. As you know, we have processes, we have assembly lines, we can manage construction projects, we can manage a fleet of automobiles and so on and so forth. But when it comes to the people who pulls those levers and push those buttons and do the work, people have to be led and not managed. And that is a very serious and passionate stance that I take, because in leading people, if you do it effectively, you can elevate them to that level or the next level, whereby you open up their wellspring of creativity and innovation. And that's where it starts. It is limitless. And when people are allowed to be creative and innovate, they surprise you. But as I think about this Veterans Day and the common thread of service that is interwoven through many of us who are veterans, I asked the question, what does it mean to me to be a veteran? And the same answer that I developed years ago continues to reverberate with me, which is, I'm still serving. Veterans Day reminds me that I can still serve and I can still be of service. So even though I'm no longer on active duty and I'm no longer in the front lines shooting, moving, and communicating, as we say, there are still many ways in which I can serve, and I'll share a few of those with you. So, for example, I start with taking care of myself as a veteran, remaining physically fit, remaining mentally sound, doing those things that I learned so many years ago when I first joined the service, which were important to being mission ready to do your work. Then it was to go and fight. Now it's to do the things that I need to do in my community, for myself, for my family, for my friends, and so on and so forth. It's a mission. It's a mission. I become a part of my local American Legion of VFW organization. I can still do that. I can serve in that way. I can respond whenever I'm called to speak and share experiences about being a veteran. And I can still serve in that way. I can still pray for my brothers and sisters who are on active duty and in harm's way. They are constantly on my mind. I pray for them on a regular basis and keep them, that they get the strength, they keep the courage to continue to do the work that they've been called to do. I sustain my discipline and rigor and hard work to never quit attitude in everything that I do, because in so doing, I can continue to inspire people and elevate them to that next level of their existence. So, number of things that I'm still doing to serve in my own way. That's why I wrote the book On Guard. On Guard. Leaders need to constantly be on guard. And many of us who are veterans can now revert back to that leadership role, because when I was on active duty, I looked at veterans as leaders. I stood on their shoulders in order to be able to do the work that I had to do successfully. And so I really honor that and I respect that. And On Guard speaks to that. It's the reason why I created a scholarship program for girls in West Africa, because our need to empower young girls and give them the experience and to teach them that they're valued and their thoughts, their ideas are valued and it's needed. They need to have that, and also looking to build a school. So Veterans Day really is a constant reminder that, even though I'm no longer on active duty in defense of the country, I can still serve, and I've only pivoted. I've not changed. I've not stopped. I've only changed direction to doing those things that I previously mentioned. And for me, the passion and desire to grow and develop leaders was kicked into high gear while at Mercy, at the Graduate Business School there in the MSO program. And because of Mercy's Yellow Ribbon School of Distinction recognition by the Department of Veterans Affairs, that makes Mercy a top veteran-friendly school. I recognized that when I was there as a student, and now as a faculty and continued relationships. With the tuition support, with engaging professors and student activities, Mercy made it happen. I want to echo the words of my fellow veteran, John Rodriguez, who said, Mercy made life so much easier, both for my family and friends, and I cannot thank Mercy enough. And, I go back to the mission, to Mercy's mission, and that mission to providing motivated students the opportunity to transform their lives through higher education so that they continue to live and learn their lives to act ethically and responsibly. That really resonated with me. It did, because those are the exact words I used throughout my years when I was in command, in my command philosophy, when I commanded the 369 Harlem Hellfighters. So Mercy College, fundamental belief that no matter where you're from or what you look like, you deserve access to education, is a mission that drove the college to achieving this distinction recognition by the Department of Veterans Affairs. So lifelong learning and acting ethically and responsibly are strong leadership character traits. And John C. Maxwell wrote that everything rises and falls on leadership. And leaders are responsible for every aspect of your people in their organizations. But particularly during this COVID-19 pandemic, a big part of acting responsibly and ethically is keeping a watchful eye on for the resiliency of the people on your team. COVID has come in and surgically attacked all of those things that help us to remain resilient, that we define our lives by, right? For example, some people like to go to the gym. Some people like to go to church service. Some people like to, look forward to happy hour. Some people like to have the play dates of families and the doggy dates. And all of those social aspects have been surgically attacked by COVID. And that impacts your resiliency. That sends people into a state of depression because you can no longer do those things that we define our lives by. And those are just some of the things that I mentioned. So leaders act responsibly to figure out how to mitigate these impacts on their people. For me, it's all about the people. So, on Veterans Day, I am reminded that I can still serve. And as a veteran, my training and experience supported by the Mercy College mission has helped me to succeed, in that MSO program. So as a leader and an author, Mercy College mission, challenges me to responsibly and ethically, in my team, organization, and in the world, to keep an eye on that, on my people. So, happy Veterans Day to my fellow veterans out there. I thank you all for your service. I thank the Mercy College team for the continued relationship that they've allowed me to have. And I'm honored to be here with you all.